So this is the Disventure Camp Season 5 cast. It's been pretty controversial, but here are my thoughts on it. Let's look at the fans first. Era seems like the main villain out of all the fans, and I think she's gonna play it off well and put on a kindness act. Finn looks like an interesting character. I feel like he can either be really chill or a complete douchebag, but I honestly like his design, probably one of my favorites out of the fans. Bruno just seems like he's clueless, but I don't mind his design, and I feel like he's gonna be one of the major love interests or an early boot. I think we can all agree that Evya's design is so ugly. I'm sorry, Odd Nations, but it is horrendous, and I really hope she is an early boot, please. I personally hate Oluwia's design, and I feel like she would be somewhat annoying character, a bit similar to Gabby, but I don't really see her doing much except being the helping hand to some other players. Sam does somewhat look like he came from Reality Resort, but he seems chill and I don't really have strong opinions on him as of now. Nura seems like a pretty cool character, but I feel like she would be shy and decently hard to ally with. I think her design is pretty. I feel like Manu will be a pre-merger and he seems like a nice guy, but I feel like he's more complex and actually not gonna be one of the nicest in the end. I really don't think we need another old, sweet, and wholesome character on this show. Please make him evil or have somewhat of a controversial personality. We've had too many old people that end up coaching and helping others in this show. It's time for a change. Dunia looks cool and her design is well done. I feel like she will have a very unique personality, and I can't tell if she's gonna have good or bad intentions, but I think she'd be pretty smart. Okay, now Ren will probably most definitely be my favorite out of the newbies. I love his design and I think he's gonna be sweet and wholesome. He might even be a band member, which is so cool. If he does turn out to be an antagonist, I won't be mad. He'll probably be really good at what he does, or at least end up looking cool. Aubrey has an interesting design and she will probably be the sweetheart of the season. Now on to favorites. Honestly, I'm pretty upset with the overall Gen 1 picks, but let's talk about Alec. So Alec got enough screen time in both his seasons and he made it really far. I mean, I guess it would be cool to see him finally make somewhat of a strong alliance with someone other than Fiora, which is Spencer, but overall I don't think it was necessary to add him back. Most of you guys might disagree with me, but I think adding Tom back was actually a good idea. I love Tom, but most of his screen time revolved around Jake and we didn't really get to see much of his own development or performance, but now with only Tom in this season we can get to see him alone without Jake, and I really like his character, so I'm excited. So obviously if we have Alec we'll have Fiora, and I wasn't surprised to see her there. I feel like there could have been more potential with early boots from Season 1. And I think there's pretty much nothing more to expand on with Fiora. I mean, yes, she has gotten older, but I don't think it'll change much about her. Gabby is not a bad pick, and I feel like it would be interesting to see her try and bond with mostly new people. I'm not too excited to see her in this season, but am curious to see how her role will play out. I'm really glad Rosa got another chance to play. She is such a sweetheart and she is very much deserving to win. I hope she can make it far this time, even though there are a lot of people here who play dirty. I also wonder how her kindness will come into play for her this season. I'm also not so mad about Aiden being in this season, although I do think there are better picks. I think it somewhat makes sense for him to be here because of Lake and Rosa. But other than that, I think he'll be a pretty early boot. Lake being here makes sense, and I think it's one of the most reasonable picks, especially being voted off so early in All Stars. I don't really have much to say about her, but am glad she's back. I was so shocked to see Ali here and even disappointed. There was absolutely no reason to bring her back. And I thought she was one of the most hated in Season 3, but now she's considered a fan favorite. I really hope she's an early boot because she definitely does not deserve this place. Tess or Hunter would have been the better option, especially since we already saw a lot of Ellie in All Stars considering she made it to the final 3. At first I wasn't too excited about Benji being back, but now I'm sorta glad. And I really hope this season he'll get to prove his intelligence and his lawyer skills to everyone. Also make some new friends. I'm so glad Spencer is back. He is one of my favorite characters and I'm so happy we're getting more of him. He really makes the votes interesting and hopefully this time he can improve his social game and make it far. At first I didn't like him, but as season 4 progressed, I got to see his vulnerable side and it made me appreciate that he's a good strategist, but still a human with emotions. Natalia was an interesting pick, but I'm not complaining. I wonder who her allies would be this season and how she'd play. I'm not too interested in her, but I am excited she's back. Lastly, for this slot, I really hope it's Logan, but I think he was deconfirmed to get into this season. I would be happy if it's Anastasia, but I don't think it'll be her. It'll probably be Isabel, which makes sense, but I would be fine with anyone but her, to be honest. Overall, I don't think these picks are as bad as people make it seem, and am really interested to see how some of the characters will act with one and other considering half of the cast being new players. I am most excited for Ren and Spencer and probably least excited for Ellie and Evia, but I'm so excited for this new season. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye!